All right. Testing. Okay. All right. Wait first. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Let's begin, shall we? Okay. Welcome back, guys, to another day of my drawing stream. Where today, it will be another drawing exercise. Where today we'll be now focusing from, as you guys can see from the title of today's stream, is the torso drawing. Yes, and I'm pretty sure that like most of the time in drawing we'll most likely just focus on the torso because I mean that's the main part of the body. One of the main part of the body because that's like the most surface area in our body and the most focused area in our body, be it male or female. But enough rambling about like why we so focused on it. I think I know why. But still, yes, the reason why we just do the torso because we have already done the gesture drawing, the hands, and the feet of the human body. And now we're going to another part of the body which is the torso. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin, shall we? I just hope you guys enjoy the stream, and if you would like to join me, feel free. This is like a drawing exercise where we all learn together. So without further ado, let's just begin searching for our like reference images. Okay, torso, and and there's no place to go to none other than Pinterest. Okay. All right. Let's begin. Let's begin. Looking into the torso, shall we? Okay. Now, as usual, we will do three sets of like two sets of 12 and one set of 8, depending on the amount of time we have. So then that also depends on like how fast we can find any reference images. And yeah, don't be surprised that if I choose choose like pictures that shows the whole body because I mean the torso is just basically the entire almost the entire part of the it almost makes up for the entire area of the body. So I mean that's a no brainer thing to how to say figure out that most of the reference images will be like a full body pictures. Okay, this. Wait, I think I saw something. Uh, mm, ah, wait. Oh, all right, found you. No. Okay, let's begin the drawing session, shall we? Alright, so without further ado, good luck and enjoy the music, shall we? Okay, I'll just increase the music and let's go. Okay, you're free to join in like on the practice of the torso if you like. Let's go. Maybe I can just do a little bit of commentary on how I do my process of the torso. Okay, so let's just start for this. Normally, when I start for the torso, I begin by looking at the shoulders. Yeah, as you can see, I just begin by looking at the shoulders and the pelvis. Now notice like how slanted the shoulders are and how as well as the pelvis, and this gives us more of a guideline on the direction of the torso that's facing, and as well as the spine. So if it's like bent back, normally when it gives this type of like a curvature, normally people normally you'll give the people like everyone two types of like thinking. One is the body facing towards us, the viewers, or is it facing the other direction? And now that is just basically up to the head on where is on like how is it orientated, and like how is it like orientated, and where is it facing. I think that's just, it's all part of the process, but more like I just do this, it's more of a guideline where I just line out the spine and the shoulders, and as well as the hips or the pelvis. Now as you can see, normally, like, I always imagine the torso as more of a bean bag, as from what I did from the previous exercise. Like, I did more of like a bean bag method. Like, to those that understand art, I think you already know the method of the bean bag, where it's like formed as a bean bag, and you kind of like gauge the outline of the pose. Yeah, so like let's say the bean bag is like this, like this. It shows everyone that the torso is jutting out, like facing up, or it could be facing down as well. Yes, and this is like gives us a very basic fundamental guideline on how anyone, or this is like one of the suggested guidelines to how to orientate the torso. And as for detailing that, I'll leave that up to your personal preference. But for my like okay before I go to my personal preference, like there are many methods. For example, let's say for this torso, let's use this torso as an example. Okay, there are many types of like guides that you can find on YouTube on how do you draw the torso. But so far that I have learned and I've seen, as well as the types of methods that I've used throughout my like illustrations, is that there are around three types of 3 to 4 types. I'm not sure the fourth one, but I know that there are 3 types of like construction techniques. For example, like this, the box method, where let me use a more, where is this? Okay, no, let's use red instead. Okay, that the first method that I'm going to show is a box method, where it shows more of like a guide also. Like, all of these 3 methods are a guide. So the first is second, and third. Let's start with the box. Second is the, how to say, just now the bean bag version, and the third one is more of like a pseudo detail construction. The third one, I'll like get back to you in a moment. I think you guys will, most of you guys that are familiar with constructing the torso, or basically any parts of the body, will like understand. So if you know the entire if you know the actual name for the that construction technique, please do let me know. Oh, Laser, cool, thank you. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. I do hope that you're enjoying it, and if you like, you can also join in on the practice, and in a way, a lesson. So yeah, let's start off with the box method. So the box method I've already shown. Like normally, it starts off with two boxes for the torso, like one for the rib cage and the other is for the hips. The other is for the hips. Now, let's say for this part in particular, this is like a general guideline. It's almost similar to the beanbag method, but it's more stiff. It's more stiff in my personal opinion, because like when you construct using the box method, it kind of gives way too much space. Like for example, if it's without these reference images, in my opinion, it's like very confusing, because normally when you construct the torso like this, you just have to figure out like how far apart the rib cage and the pelvis must be. So in my opinion, it's like kind of a good guide. It is a good guide, but it can be confusing at times, because sometimes when you're constructing using the box method, there may be times where the hips and like the rib cage and the hips are like way too far apart, and that gives you like a elongated type of waist. Like for example, it like gives a very elongated type, and it's like a freaking Attack on Titan thing. And when I see it, it's like, oh my god, the box method isn't for me. But that is actually one of the method that you guys can use if you are like very familiar with like constructing the torso. And which case, this is actually the one of the methods where in my opinion, I generally suck at. But this is like also this is like one of the good ways where you can like construct the torso in this manner. It's not as advanced as others I see. Oh, advanced? So what do you mean by that, Laser? What do you mean by advanced? Like I know these three methods, they are not advanced at all. It's like, how to say, they are the fundamentals of like how to say constructing the body. It's more like a guideline. So like these are the three methods that I know of. There are others. Yeah, the box method, yeah. it's not advanced. It's just the basic of one of the three basics that I know of. But one thing that like how to say, like struck me as like make me stagnant in my drawing is just that it's not my cup of tea. It's not my preference, as I find the other methods more comfortable, as they are, how to say, more simpler to understand. So even though that it is simple, the method is very simple. Even anyone understands it, even I. But the problem that I always have for the box method is the gap in between the rib cage and the pelvis. Now I do understand that like the human body, that this is a very crude version of it lah. But like the human body, everyone knows, not everyone knows, but this is like a more like a guideline. You know what, I'll just show you the reference. Okay, human body reference drawing. Now let's say, let's give it you know what, I'll just use this open image interview tab, snip. What? first. Okay. Okay. So I understand that the when the lecturers, or when it comes to fundamentals of the human body, normally it's for the head. As we use the head as a reference. So for torso wise, let's say this is one head and this is like two. The torso is roughly around two heads, like in, like, just an example for this are like 2 or 3 heads in length, whereas for the legs is around, let's say, three three to four, depending on how tall the person is. Maybe like for this reference case, this is a very crude one, it's like 5, whereas my god, there's a long leg, or maybe 4 because of the angle here. But nonetheless, it's still like very hard for me to gauge, in my opinion, on how to construct this, like, let's say any part of the torso. Like, there are some views, for example, for hers, like here, for her head, I can like roughly tell, but it's just that for the box method itself, it's just that it doesn't give me the proper guidelines for it. So it all boils down to personal preferences, and for me, the box method isn't my like most used method, as it's really confusing for me, and in a way I tend to lean towards either the beanbag or the hybrid version, where it's in a way combine the box method and the beanbag method. And I'll get to this number 3 in a moment, but for now, let's go to the beanbag method. As I say, for the box method, is also up to personal preferences. It's up to you whether or not you like it or not. So let's move on to the beanbag, where let's use this one as a reference again. You use the spine. For my case, I use the spine as a reference. Wait a second, I think I'm confusing it with something. No, never mind. I'll start off with the rib cage first, as well as the entirety of the hips and pelvis. This gives me quite a good rough idea of how the torso will look like already, and it comes with this, and then the third method comes with the spine curves. And now this is like up to anyone, to any artist, like on how they interpret this, but it all comes down to like how they want the character to face. So for example, for this, let's say I give it this here, this could be anything. For this reference is the spine, but this could be anything, like it could be the rib cage, like here the rib cage, and this is the pelvis, the legs over here, and it could be facing in any direction. In any direction, it's up. It all boils down to like what the artist wants. But for this case, like I use, since there's a proper reference already, I use the beanbag method. I just use the spine as a reference, and since it's already facing it away from us, so it already gives us a good idea on how the beanbag will look like. And this is how I generally construct it, and it, compared to the box method, is actually quite simple in my opinion. It's very simple because it's really up to me on whether or not, when it's without a reference, I can decide. I already had the basic outline of it already. I already have the basic outline of the ribs and the hips and pelvis, because the beanbag is already like consists of the entire torso comparatively to the box method. So yeah, I mean this is the how's it, and the beanbag is in a way one of the most, in my opinion, the most like easiest method, and how's it, to get anyone to understand how the torso works. Like for example, you can put it like this: the torso could be like facing, like bending extremely upwards, or he's just bending very downwards. Or here he could twist. It's up to like it's up to you how you want to construct it. Like he could twist like very much, like so. And yeah, the beanbag, in my opinion, is what is like one of the fastest ways to like quickly construct the torso, like quite immediately. And yeah, there's nothing much to explain for the beanbag method, because it's very explanatory, and you can just use this as a quick sketches on where the torso is facing. And now for the third and final method is in a way the pseudo detail, where I combine both the box method and the beanbag method. Now for this case particularly, I just use the shoulders and the pelvis as references, and I just construct the general like using circles instead of boxes by taking it from the beanbag, using the beanbag method. But instead of like combining the two beanbags, I now like construct a little bit of a like a detailed version for the hips. And this, I think it is quite confusing, but this method really sticks well to me, because it's like much better, like fits much well for me, in my personal opinion. I know this is like a very crude way of teaching everyone the fundamentals of it. I really suck. I'm so sorry about it, but this is the best way I could explain on how I generally like do the torso for all my illustrations, and that mostly tends to derive from reference images, so that I can roughly gauge on how far apart the ribs and the pelvis should be. So yeah, this is like how I normally like construct the torso when I have like a lot of time. Well, not like a lot of time per se, but more like if I want to understand better on how to construct the body much better. Like for instance, let's complete this like a pseudo detailed version. Like I know, like for this part from the reference, I know that the spine is already curved here, and the rib cage it's just facing towards the front already, as well as the pelvis. And I just use shoulder joints to just roughly gauge out how far apart the shoulder is, which is normally not even that far apart from the circle itself. And that's just basically on how I construct it. I'm not sure whether this is like proves any use. These tips that I just like these methods that I just show you, which case this two is already like the basic fundamentals, and the third one is like it's a mix and match for me. But I hope that is in a way help you sort of understand my like how I think, like the way I think on constructing the body. So yeah, this is just like my own, not say my own version, but a version that I picked up that proves like simple for me to understand the body anatomy. Okay, so yeah, like without further ado, let's just since we've already dwelt a lot for this like post, let's just complete the exercise for this, and we'll move on to the other. How many do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the other 10 more. Yeah. Now there are some. Now this is like for this like hybrid method. Like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But and when I get like really confused, sometimes I just like go back to the beanbag method. Sometimes I just go back to the beanbag method to help me further understand. Because like for some poses, some methods doesn't work well for me. So I tend to like do a trial and error. Sometimes I do, let's say for this pose, sometimes I do the beanbag method, and for this one I do the box method because it's quite self-explanatory. I say thanks to the reference, I know where generally the area is. Yeah, so it's more of like a mix and match for me. Yeah, so yeah, this is just like roughly my thinking process when it comes to constructing either the torso, the heads, the hands. Yeah, so that's just basically it for my thinking process. So enough rambling. Let's like carry on the drawing exercises, and yeah, just enjoy the music. I do hope that this like quote unquote tips that I just hope like proves to be useful in a way lah. I hope that you can. I hope like it like helps you on how you want to construct the torso. Okay, let's go. Let me just drink a little bit of water first. this is just a TLDR. I'm by no means a very, I'm by no means a professional artist. I'm just like still like learning. So like all the methods that I've just like shown you are just like things that I have picked up along the way. So yeah, I do hope that like my tips that I've learned like so far is will be helpful for you for some that wants to who has just like begun drawing. I do hope that like the three methods that I use prove like useful for those who like wants to start out. And yeah, just once again, I'm by no means a professional artist yet. Yeah, with these methods that I just mentioned are just the methods that I picked up along the way. Uh, yeah, okay, I think I'm done with this part of the reference image. I think I'm sick and tired of just seeing this because I've used this for the three methods just now. Okay, let's move on to the female one. Okay. like join in for the drawing stream. You can just practice if you want to. Okay, I think we're done with the toss. I'll just move on to the next one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yeah, let's go to the next one. 1. Okay, I'll be moving on to the next one in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, I was gonna move on to the next part of the torso. Alright, I'll move on in 3, 2, 1. Okay, go. Okay, wait first. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. and let's go. Okay, I'll move on to the next tool size. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. This is the final one of the set 1. Now for the number of sets, I think I'm going to change it. Yeah, I'm going to like reduce the number of sets. Just due to time constraints. Now I think I'm going to reduce it to just 2 sets. Like this first set is 12. I'm going to like reduce the next one from 12 to 8. Okay, sorry about that. Due to time constraint, I cannot extend it to 3 sets. time, I'll just get another 8 more pictures before I end the stream. Right, 5 minute break. Okay. Okay, let's begin the final sets for the day. Let's begin. Okay, first torso done. Moving on, next one in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Second torso done. Moving on in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Okay, done with this. Now I'm going to the next one. 3, 2, 1. Okay. done with this one. Move on in 3, 2, 1. Okay, moving on to the second last pose. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1. Oh, God, I'm so tired. Oh. I don't know why, but I think I just got been acclimated to on drawing the female anime to the point where he has become like second nature to me. Like because like throughout my whole 2 years, 2 years of like illustration, I have like been constantly been drawing like female anime girls. So it's like, in a way, it becomes like natural for me to like draw them, to be more familiarized with the female anatomy. Because I've noticed, like, whenever I do the torso for the female anatomy, and specifically, it's much more clearer because I know which is which, where is where. Unlike the male anatomy, despite me being a guy, I just like draw. I just like start drawing like as if it's like just a rubbish bag. But maybe it's just me lah. Or maybe I just need more practice. But yeah, all right. Anyway, the second last also has been done already, and we're going to the last one. Now, since we have come to the end of the second set, I do hope that you guys enjoy watching the stream. I do hope that you guys manage to do some practices with me. But yeah, like if you want to know like how say be updated on like the next stream like soon, do subscribe to my channel for like future streams. In which case, the next stream will be a continuation of my Penthesilea fan from Big Red Order fan art. I do hope that you guys see and yeah, and I do hope that you guys to enjoy my process of creating the illustration of Penthesilea, which in my personal opinion is one of the underrated characters that has any like fan art. Even if she has like a banner that's really that's like something like that. Yeah. Because whenever I try to find fan arts of Penthesilea, it's either just like very old like illustrations of her back when she was like first released, and during the event of her CEO event, and ironically it also like they also reveal my like illustration of like Penthesilea. That goes to show how little fan art of Penthesilea is. And yeah, I just want to give a little more love to the character itself. Because like she is technically one of the one of the first few servants that I've actually summoned the game. And been with me for quite some time already, in my opinion. Okay, with the rambling. And thanks to my rambling about Penthesilea, I think I've come to the end of the last set. Okay, and so the end of the stream. Yes. Once again, okay, wait first. Okay. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope that you enjoy the process of my practice, and once again, I do hope that like you guys have some like There's some. No, no, wait. Let me rephrase it. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, like here and there, and yeah, I do hope that you guys like learn something from this stream. I hope that you guys like yeah, enjoy the stream so far. And yeah, and once I and as I've said before, on the next stream, which will be on the Friday of this week, I'll be continuing the fan art of Penthesilea, which I mentioned before. And I think I have the file open already. Let me show you the progress on which I have done. And ta-da! Yep, this is this is just the it's just the process that I did so far of Penthesilea. So, yeah, this the next I think by Friday I'll already be starting on the coloring process of Penthesilea. And yeah, once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I do hope to see you guys again next time. Bye bye.